time for us to do the relationship segment. Now, today on the segment, I will be joined by one very special woman who has been on the Farm Life show. This is on City 97.3 FM, and they've been handling all kinds of relationship matters, for so many years. And today we're going to be talking about office romance with her. And office romance is such a deep topic, and we want to delve into it. Letitia Ohene-Effah is my guest, and she'll be joining me by Zoom. And she's the co-founder of Leader Freak International and also the co-host of Farm Life on City 97.3 FM. Good morning, Letitia.
Good morning.
How are you? How are you today?
Very well, thank you. Yourself?
I'm very well too. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so this whole issue of office romance, help us to get into the subject. Good or not good? Pros and cons. What are your thoughts, your initial thoughts on office romance?
I think that as long as there's male, female, we have hormones, we have feelings, there will always be somebody liking somebody. So the whole office romance thing is inevitable. It is likely to happen.
Okay.
What we need to pay attention to is this genuine? So the people within the relationship must understand, is this genuine? Is this really just a fling, like something that I'm feeling just because I'm spending too much time with this one particular person?
Yeah.
What is, so you need to name the feeling so that you're not seduced into, oh, I'm so excited, I'm in a relationship, because you never know.
Okay.
So a lot of things must be validated in order for you to even decide whether there's something in this relationship for me, for you, or there's nothing in it.
Okay.
So people must and foremost define what it is that they're feeling before they even enter into a romantic space.
Okay.
But otherwise, it's inevitable.
Okay, so talking about definitions, what would you call specifically an office romance? Because I see in different spaces people get very close and cozy with others, and they're not necessarily in a relationship. What is office romance? Which
is very important. The point you made is very important because everybody is different. We have different personalities. We express differently. So there's some people who would express, and you think or misunderstand it to mean that they like you, and they probably don't like you in a romantic manner. So the office romance is simply two people who have chosen to like each other and might end up in a dating relationship or more than a dating relationship. So they're willing to at least explore what that relationship or where that relationship can take them to. So that would be an office romantic relationship.
Okay. Now, in an office organization where office romance is permissible, are there not challenges with productivity and all those things that are like the, let's say, the companies, the important KPIs for the companies?
There are pluses and minuses.
Okay.
So we are all energy. We emit energy when you go into a space. You can enter a room and you feel that it's cold. You enter a room and you feel something is amiss. You can enter a room and you feel the energy is vibrant. So what typically happens with office romance is that when the couple is having a good time, it's highly likely that the energy within the space and their teams are very high. So it can produce it can give you some high productivity. On the other hand, when they're having issues with each other, the other person is feeling a little jealous, upset about something, they're on the same team and then you didn't agree with their ideas. It tends to begin to have a murky feeling all around. Yeah. And people are now dancing around critical crisis because they've been careful about how they influence the would-be or our couple.
Okay.
Which is what we must be mindful of.
Yeah. All right. So, Letitia, we need to take a short break. Don't go anywhere. Or come back and continue and delve deeper into the office relationship conversation. Viewers, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back.
The world is impossible without time. Time is endless motion. Make time work for you. Bet Planet. Time to bet.
All right, so we're talking office romance on the relationship segment, and it's a fascinating topic for me. I'm sure some of you are watching and you have all kinds of questions about it and all the rest. So the hashtag is Breakfast Daily. Do send us messages. If you happen to be watching on Facebook, you can comment on the stream below, and then also our WhatsApp line is 0550585832. Letitia Ohene-Effah was taking us through the various aspects of office romance and so on, and the last thing she was talking about was the productivity aspect, where she says there are pros and cons. I want to find out what are some of those advantages and disadvantages of office romance. Letitia.
Yes, David.
So what would you say are some of the advantages vis-a-vis the disadvantages of office romance?
So you can look at it in two different ways.
Okay.
It could be distracting, which is the disadvantage, and it can be it can fuel it can enhance the performance of both people.
Okay.
So you can look at it in two different ways. So as I said earlier, when they're happy, the energy levels are very high. They're in a space where they want to help one another to meet their targets, so they're more supportive in that role.
Okay.
And therefore, the productivity is higher. And then their energy levels affect and impact all the team members they're working with. So it's a good thing in that regard. It's distracting if one person is just thinking about the other person the entire time. Instead of working, they're just constantly trying to be on the phone or going to their office to have a conversation. So it can be very distracting. Like in an office setting, we have lunch with other people. So you're going to have lunch with someone and they don't want you to go because they're jealous of that relationship. So then the whole dynamics is different. And it's even worse when the relationship is one, it has the power dynamics attached to it. Where there's a boss and a subordinate relationship. Okay. So that also has its own dynamic, where you need to be careful what the motivations are, what the intentions are, because you never know. Sometimes we just get into these spaces, even sometimes just to meet our own childhood problems and needs that we have. It's sometimes simply to feel accepted, to feel loved, to express love, something that you never got, that the person just seems to meet that little emotional need, which is why I said in the earlier introduction that we must make sure that we understand what we're feeling, we name it, and we validate it with the other person if possible, before we even encourage a growth in this area. So these are some of the disadvantages. Basically, you can put them into two categories: the distraction and the fact that it can fuel high performance. Yeah. If people decide to engage in office romance, what would be the do's and don'ts? Do's and don'ts for me would be that they would, first and foremost, don't hide the relationship. Okay. Because again, if the power dynamics is at play, then you really don't want to hide the relationships, and you're not quite sure. You may have had a conversation, but you're still not sure that this is a genuine relationship. You don't want to hide it. So if it is that HR must know, then you must, it depends on the office policy. So you must understand the office policy first and foremost. Then you must have a conversation about the office policy around either amorous relationships or office romantic relationship, you must have that conversation. What are you? You see, we all have a choice. So you can choose to be in that relationship, and you have to accept whatever consequences is meted out to you by the employer.
Okay. I see. Yeah, so...
they're quick to say, and the employer is this and that, but really, truly.
Yeah. So your summarizing thoughts on office romance.
Good or bad is really what you think.
Okay. Can you hear me? All right. So we were speaking with Letitia Ohene-Effah, and she was helping us to understand the pros and cons, the advantages and disadvantages. If it is that you want to
continue the relationship for a longer period, one may want to exit the company if it is that you work too closely with one another and you understand the office politics at play. Then one may want to leave, and you should be okay with that. And I think too many people like to either feel they're victimized, but as adults, you're an adult, and therefore you must know that you're also responsible for your behavior. So do take accountability for the choices that you're making. It's important, because to every action, as they say, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Yeah.
So you make a decision, there will be an equal and opposite reaction. What that's going to be, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
You just be given that choice, or it will be meted out to you, and you just simply take it and work with it. So it's not one that you just enter blindly. You must enter with both your mind and your heart, and make sure that you truly understand what it is that you're doing, so that together as a couple, you have a mutually beneficial relationship that also benefits the employer. So it shouldn't just be one that is just for the two of you, but you must consider the bigger matrix at play.
Well, thank you. Words to live by. Thank you, Letitia Ohene-Effah. Letitia is the co-founder of Leader Freak International and also the co-host of Farm Life on 97.3 City FM.
Hi there. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends.
This is Breakfast Daily on City TV.
Join the Breakfast Daily team Monday through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 10. Join us for breakfast daily, only on City TV.